Background. Before 1906, many people didn't know what was in the food they ate and the drugs that they took. Upton Sinclair, a Chicago journalist, wrote The Jungle to reveal the corruptness of the meatpacking industry. The picture on the left is of Upton Sinclair, and on the right is a cover of the book, The Jungle. These pictures show the unsanitary conditions of the meatpacking industry. Upton Sinclair was trying to reveal the corruptness that was going on in these industries. That's why he created his book, because he wanted to show an awareness of the greater human tragedy of urban slums and the factory systems throughout the world. These pictures reveal the conditions that the factory workers were working. As you can see, it's in very harsh conditions. The meatpacking industry was also in very disgusting conditions. Immigrants will work in unsafe and unsanitary conditions. That's why when President Roosevelt read The Jungle and he had to respond to the public's claim for action. Roosevelt assigned a commission of experts to investigate the meatpacking industry. The commissioners agreed with Sinclair on the conditions. In 1906, the Meat Inspection Act was pushed by Roosevelt. The Meat Inspection Act orders strict cleanliness requirements for meat packers. It also created the program of federal meat inspection. In this picture, it shows meat inspectors inspecting meat. Now, we're going to show you a video.
Like most Americans, he was horrified when he read Upton Sinclair's The Jungle, and even considered becoming a vegetarian. He appointed a commission to investigate Sinclair's claims.
A man could run his hand over these piles of meat and sweep off handfuls of the dried dung of rats. These rats were nuisances, and the packers would put poisoned bread out for them. They would die, and then rats, bread, and meat would go in the hoppers together.
Sinclair's charges of unsanitary conditions proved to be true. The commission confirmed his description of potted ham as a hash containing ground rope and pigskin. So in 1906, with Roosevelt's urging, Congress adopted the Meat Inspection Act. That same year, more reforms followed, with the passage of the Pure Food and Drug Act. Manufacturers now had to list the contents of foods and drugs on labels, and could not make exaggerated claims about a medicine's benefits. No deleterious drug, chemical, or preservative could be used in medicines or foods.
Before any federal regulations were made for advertising food and drugs, manufacturers claimed that their products accomplished everything from curing cancer to growing hair. Popular children's medicines contain opium, alcohol, or even cocaine. Now, these two pictures are advertisements from the late 19th century. They're both advertisements for hair products. These are more advertisements. Starting with the one on the left, it says I grow hair, and it's advertising hair products. There's also Nestle's Swiss milk, Coca-Cola syrup and extract, Damiana wafers, and the toxo-absorbent cancer cure. And it says that the price was $5 and 6 for $25. It says that this is the most successful cure for cancers ever discovered. It has the chemical affinity for the poisons and microbes which cause the disease. It dislodges them and draws them out through the pores, absorbs the growth, and builds up the wasted tissues. It cures tumors by the same process. Cancers and tumors, whether external or internal, are cured by toxo-absorbance. But we know that this is not true. Which proves that these advertisements were fake. And that's why Dr. Harvey Washington Willey, chief chemist at the Department of Agriculture, criticized manufacturers for adding harmful preservatives to food. Congress passed the Food and Drug Act in 1906. Its purpose was to prevent the manufacture, sale, or transportation of adulterated or misbranded or poisonous or deleterious foods, drugs, medicines, liquors, and from products identified as healthful without scientific support. This act also demanded that food and drugs be labeled accurately and honestly. The picture is a stamp, and it's just saying 1906 Pure Food and Drug Act. Now, these are pictures of drugs or medicines that have labels now because of the act. Now it tells you how much it has, like how much percent of alcohol it has. Like the first one, Abitina. It says it contains 1% alcohol, 1 fluid ounce. Now, the Food and Drug Act of 1906 was the first of more than 200 laws that constitute one of the world's most comprehensive and effective networks of public health and consumer protections. The Pure Food and Drug Act of 1906 was the first of a series of significant consumer protection laws enacted by federal government in the 20th century. And this led to the creation of the Food and Drug Administration, which is also known as the FDA. These are pictures showing alcohol. And as you can see, they have labels due to the act. Now that everything has labels, you can know how much percent alcohol it has, and other types of stuff, and you won't. Now, the creation of the Food and Drug Administration, which was entrusted with the responsibility of testing all foods and drugs destined for human consumption. The requirement for prescriptions from licensed physicians before a patient could purchase certain drugs. The requirement of label warnings of habit-forming drugs. These were provisions from the FDA that all food and drugs should have labels. Now, this is drug labels. As you can see, well, today every type of drug has labels on them, and it tells you the drug facts so you can know what's in the drug. Doctors would give you prescriptions, and they're the only person that could authorize it, and it tells you to who the prescription is for,